So watching your kids grow can be both beautiful yet challenging, especially when you have to correct them when they're doing something wrong.
Yeah, but one mother says guiding them through problems versus trying to save them during every situation can potentially help them learn. So joining us right now to share how this can be done is blogger and author of In This House We Will Giggle, Courtney DeFeo. Good morning, Courtney. How you doing?
Hi, thanks for having me. Doing great.
I think this was the way my parents kind of raised me. I mean, I did a lot of things wrong and then quickly learned I shouldn't be shaving when I was 5 years old by cutting my face. So before we get to it, oh yeah, I know. So let's focus on failure and why it's so important for families to kind of let their kids experience it.
Yeah, first I'll just say it isn't easy. Your parents are probably rare. That right now we have a lot of parents, me included, that we want to ensure our kids' success. But letting them fail kind of has the long-term view that we're looking at them as competent, responsible adults. And if we're smoothing things out and picking them up and carrying them around problems, they'll never learn how to handle life in many situations.
That's exactly the point that I was going to make, because I have two little ones and they're pretty smart because they'll ask me to do it when I know clearly this is a learning experience and you should do it. But then they rely on me to do it from then on. So I've learned that you just got to let them do it, whether they do it right or wrong. They will get a lesson from it and eventually learn how to do it. Because if you don't do this, Courtney, you're going to end up waiting on them hands and foot for the rest of your life, right?
That's right. Like, I don't want to go to their college entrance exams or to their first job. We shouldn't. And so I think that we're seeing a culture that's really, like I said, smoothing things over. They're calling us the lawn mower parents right now. We used to be helicopter parents. Now we're lawn mower, where we smooth the path out. And I just don't, even though it's tempting, I don't want that for my children. I want them to learn some of the best skills you can learn that come through failure. We should submit failure resumes, really, when we're going for our first jobs, because that's where I know I had the most growth growing up.
So, well, by the way, I don't know about you, but my mother walked me to work on my first day with a brown bag lunch.
Did she really?
No. Okay, so can parents embrace how as a parent, if you're listening, saying, well, how do I embrace the failure of my child, right? How do you kind of say, like, it's just like, it's okay that you failed? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because we can all agree this is probably not a great idea, but we need, like, what do you do tomorrow? So the first one is beware of extremes. And I can fall in this. Either we save them all the time or we never save them. And so I think there's a danger in both extremes. And we got to find that balance as families to go, like, when do I take the book up there? When do I help them study for that thing, but not always saving them from every obstacle? The next is setting clear values for your home. This is really important for us and our family. We talk about virtues and values, and do we care about honesty or faith or kindness? What are the things that are bigger than these big success or failure moments? And then one more I'll just give you is really the encouragement. I really would love as parents to celebrate our kids when they struggle, because they see that that's just not the importance as perfection in our home. We want to celebrate the process and their growth through falling down, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's that journey where they learn all the good lessons in life. But at the same time, there are a lot of parents that want their kids to be perfect, to get it right. And there's a danger to that to some extent, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you're seeing the stakes are getting higher for college entrance exams, which makes us preschool questions like, is she doing the right thing? And I think that sets an unhealthy pressure on our kids, that they're only loved whether they're doing the very best thing or they're being perfect. And that's just not true. I know you would probably relate to that as a mom, like, you love your kids because they're yours, not because they made 100. And so we need to keep pulling them up to the bigger picture and showing them that they are still worth something if they fall down. Doesn't mean ignore. We want to help them learn how to do studying and learn how to get a job, but we are not doing it for them.
Absolutely. But I think you bring a good point, though, as you get into these entrance exams into colleges and you're applying for this, that, and the other through life, right? You got to make sure that they do have the skills to get it right and to excel and be as good as they can possibly be.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Winter Pitt, said that we should guide our kids through the problem, not around them. And I love that, because I'm a hands-on parent. I want them to learn how to navigate situations. So it's not, like I said, that extreme where we just throw our hands up. We want to be in the process with them, but they get such confidence. Like, I have middle school girls, and watching them navigate their schools and their friendship problems gives me a lot of pride, because I know this wasn't the first time we talked about it. We've been talking about it since they were little bitty.
Yeah, and that builds that relationship too.
When you have, like, for a youngster, right, you're saying middle school, what's like an example of something that's like, okay, I'm going to let them fail at this because there's a lesson here?
Yeah, I think it comes from anything to the science fair projects. If you go through any school today and go to a science fair project, I would guess about 75% of those have been parent done. And you're like, wow, balloons and lights, and there's some projects where you're going to look bad as a parent because you didn't help them do the whole thing. You can show them where to research, you can show them how to go to Hobby Lobby and get the supplies, but you're not physically doing every bit of the project, and they'll have more confidence and pride in their project.
Right.
That is really a good point. Thank you so